A Crack in Time. Narrated by Jesse Levine. Good evening, everyone. This is your host, Jess, and I just recently finished Clair Obscur, and I only have a couple of words for it. Damn! I struggled to beat RPGs in a very reasonable amount of time. I think by the time that I ended up beating, like, Clair Obscur, I was only, like, 35? By the time I beat, like, Baldur's Gate 3, I was already, like, 47, and by the time I beat Divinity Original Sin 2, I was, like, 8 billion years old. And you might be wondering why my bones haven't collapsed into dust. Well, that's because this, like, suit of armor thing helps keep in all that dust, so it's like it's not gonna spill out or anything. So it's really convenient, you know? And you might be wondering, how does, like, a dust even have, like, consciousness or anything? It's like, I don't know, I don't make the rules. But it's been making me think of how much does gameplay time actually have a factor on overall enjoyment of the game. Because sometimes I feel like it's very easy to become fatigued with the game when it has a long runtime. I feel like I'm a person who gets very easily fatigued with a game that has a long runtime. I feel like I've just been learning a lot about myself when I've been playing through games. Like, even Elden Ring, I only have like 25-something hours into it, but I'm like, man, I am just... I'm not even close to my goal yet. I was like, I've gotten so little done. And it's at that point, I was already like 567. It's not like I didn't enjoy my time in the game. And like Elden Ring, I did enjoy getting my ass beat and then beating some ass, you know? But when I put down the game, I didn't really feel like I really progressed that far in the game. And then thinking to other RPGs that I played, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Like Baldur's Gate 3, I tried combing every single inch of that game, and it just takes me a very long time. I don't like missing content. I don't really want to be left out on an experience. I want to see everything that a game has to offer. You know, I paid for it. I'm seeing every single inch of it. In Fallout 4, when I was playing that game, it'd take like an hour to do like a side quest sometimes, and you get back, and then Preston Garvey's like, hey, I think you should do that again. I think it'd be very funny. And then I felt extremely disappointed in myself that I made Preston Garvey happy whatsoever. Keep in mind, I was a lot younger then, but for like a quest like that taking an hour and it's really like unsatisfying, you're like, man, why did I put so much time into doing the Minutemen side quests in Fallout 4? I think the biggest factor that game runtime can have sometimes is that, do I want to like boot up the game again? Because I start to get self-conscious about like the actual runtime of the game. And I was like, or, you know, maybe sometimes I just get in my own head about it, because I think sometimes maybe that I waste a bit of time, and I feel like, you know, you're not really wasting time if you really enjoy it. But sometimes I just think about it as like, in the time that I put into it, have I really progressed the game that much? And if I think to myself, no, I'm like, meh. Or maybe I've been just finding it harder and harder to chip away at longer games. Because I'm thinking about it now, it's like in Disco Elysium, there's also a lot of side content that I did, but it didn't really take me too long. I think maybe things that are just very grand in scope are just very difficult for me now. You know, maybe I feel like in my 8 billion years of age, I'm weak. I mean, I've actually made a video about this before, because I was talking about, like, man, I'm not progressing through Elden Ring that much. I was very overwhelmed by how large the open world was. Because there's a lot of content, which is very nice. But it's just like, man, I feel like I'm like, And I've loved Dark Souls as a franchise, too. And I've never experienced that problem with Dark Souls ever before. I only experienced it in Elden Ring. I mean, I feel like it's a very complicated question to really, like, analyze, because it is really just up to, like, personal preference a lot of the time. It's like, what is your relationship with, like, time and investment into a game, and how does that make you feel? Or how much time is too much for a game? The more I think about it, the more perplexed I am at the end of the day, because, I mean, there are a ton of factors that contribute to, like, the game length time. I don't know. I don't really think I really have anything like macro to really say about it, besides, like, you know, maybe my personal preference is just things that just are shorter, you know? Or maybe I think with, like, RPGs, I just get very exhausted from how much time I have to invest in them. I am 8 trillion years old, by the way. It really is something that I feel like I kind of just have to, like, think about as I'm, like, going into this year, because I feel like I want to, like, really answer this question. How much does game length really contribute to your overall enjoyment of a game? Or say, does it compel you to really want to like finish a game? Because there are a lot of games I have not finished because I'm like, I don't feel like I'm going to finish them anytime soon. So I've kind of like just... Oh, okay. I think I've kind of, discovered it. I was like, I don't think I was ever going to really finish them. Huh. I think that's probably more of what it is now that I kind of say it out loud and I started like yapping a wee bit about it. I don't feel like I'm ever going to finish them. That's also probably why Baldur's Gate also just took a while. I kind of had to just force myself into it until I found myself in a groove. I think that might be more what it is now that I think about it. I don't really know if that's a similar thing that other people feel, but now that I'm really thinking about it, I feel like I won't finish it in the time that I play it. And because I think about how many times I'd probably need to like get back on it, I don't feel like I would probably finish it in the year either. Because it's like I did say I enjoy it. I enjoyed them, even the games that I didn't finish, but I feel like I didn't really think I was going to finish Divinity Original Sin 2 either. I really just... Huh. Now I'm kind of like thinking about it. I think that might have just been my mentality going into it. I never thought I was actually going to finish those games. So I've kind of just given up on them, even though it's like I've had a lot of fun with them. You know? Maybe? Maybe I'm the problem. You know, maybe I've closed off my mind to the possibility that I can finish those games, and instead they just sit there and collect dust while they're like, please play me, I'm so cool. And look at me, I've been spending my time playing like, what is it, like Overwatch 2 and League of Legends. I'm a monster. That might be why I sometimes feel like it's very hard to try and like beat a lot of games. Because you feel like you're not going to finish them. You're like, you know, I want to try a new game. You know, this probably explains why the backlog of games really can get higher and higher. Because sometimes it's like not even like saying it like out in the open, but like self-consciously you just think, you know, I'm probably not going to beat that game. I'm going to opt for a game that it's like I don't really need to worry about beating or anything. I really think that might be it. I think that's kind of why the backlog keeps growing. Not even just like the bajillions of games that come out, but I think the ability to actually go and complete them. I mean, kind of the same thing with books, too, if you really think about it, you know. Am I actually really going to finish this book? And, you know, that might actually be, like, a big deterrent, even of itself, even though it's like, say you've already started reading it and you're enjoying it. You know, I feel like that's just a lot of food for thought. If you sit down and you really think about it, do I think I'll actually finish this game? And if you think no, will you actually go back and try to finish that game? Because I feel like that's definitely the case for me now. I was not strong. I didn't think I could beat the games. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm going to put them on ice. The Ice Age lasted 10 billion years, by the way. Speaking of, after living for about like 20 trillion years now, the dust has actually formed into something called, what is it? Like a flood of some kind. And I'm like, wow, man, you know, I really feel like I could be like a great mind of some kind.